Minister is in the house. We'll now start with the questions. The questioner, 1 supplementary, 2 joyriders. Beatrice Adagala. Minister, answers must be concise and precise so that we can save on time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want to ask question number 013/2025. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide the status of construction of Shamahoho, Gisambai Road, and the steps being taken to ensure its completion? 2, clarify whether the contractor responsible for the road project received full payment and whether due process was followed in the payment process. 3, outline the measures taken by the ministry to address structural defects such as cracks, sliding grounds along the road, particularly around Kisigwa area. Lastly, provide the timelines for construction of the said road. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, members of this Honorable House. Good afternoon. Let me very quickly respond to Mheshimiwa's question regarding this Kisambai Hamisi Senende Shamagoko Road junction project, which I wish to state that it is currently 95.4% complete with 13.7 kilometers of the project road upgraded to pavement standard to date. The bridge along the road spanning 12 meters is also complete, Honorable Speaker, with backfilling in place. I wish to confirm that works have fully resumed and are ongoing at the project following the recent 40% payments of the amounts previously owed to the contractors in what has for a long time been known as pending bills in the road sector. And this has enabled the full resumptions of work. Let me state that the contractor has to date been paid a total of 698,388,457 of the total 827,470,454 certified for payment. This constitutes 8.9% payment, the most recent being the 40%, which is 105,440,875, paid as part of the recent settlement of the pending bills in April 2025. So we still owe this contractor some money. There was a pending bill of about 262 million. The ministry would like to assure the House that all payments for roads works at the project have been done procedurally as per the provisions of the contract and in keeping with the requirements of the law. On the third concern, we are aware, Mheshimiwa, Honorable House, that some section of the road between kilometer 5 plus 300 meters and 420 meters in Kisigiwa experienced a slight landslide on a section of the drains due to heavy downpour in the region. Consequently, the contractor has been instructed to undertake necessary remedial measures and is currently on site mobilizing materials and machines to that effect, given the fact that the contractor has resumed since we paid the pending bills. It is envisaged, honorable members, that the completion will be by end of August due to the ongoing rains, April and May rains, which delayed the contractor to immediately resume work and hampered the progress of work. I submit. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Adagala, you are satisfied? If you are, you save time, we go to the next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think most of the areas have been covered very well by the CS. And I wish just to still talk about the Kisigwa area. The place is delicate. There are seminal landslides, and even around Muzazi, there is also another landslide taking place. The road is also getting spoiled. And even if you come to past Jepsesi on your way to Amisi, that hill also needs to be taken care of. But I want to thank the CS for the good response. And even I was there over the weekend. The bridge is being constructed. The contractor is on the road, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Remember, if the questioner is satisfied, why do you want to joyride? Go ahead and joyride. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this joyriding opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I'm sure the minister, when he was preparing for this question, he looked around the area. That's Vihiga County, basically. And at the same time, when this road was came into construction, there are 3 other roads around the area, which I would wish he speaks about if he is able to. And nothing is happening to them. There's the Maseno Kombewa Road, there's the Chavakali Regi Road, there's the Luanda Epanga Mbale Road, and then there's the Sirulo Ekwanda, he knows them very well, and finally, there's the Mago Museno Road. But specifically, it's the one of Maseno Kombewa, which has remained an ISO, Honorable Speaker, that it was only made on the Luo side, and then left. The other side of Western, nothing has been done for the last more than 15 years. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes.
There is no area in your neighborhood called Luo side.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I believe you mean Siaya side.
I mean Siaya side. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't want to destroy my question. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Yes, Zamzam.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi naweza kujoyride. Nimuulize waziri, kuna barabara ambayo imekuwa tata sana ndani ya Mombasa, hata hao wabunge wakija kwa kamati, katika kamati zao wameona, yaitwa Links Road. Mheshimiwa Waziri, mikakati gani umeweka kuhakikisha kuwa ile Links Road imetengezwa? Manake hata pale kumetokea ajali, mwanamke mmoja na tuktuk akadungwa macho, hivi tunavyosema yuko hospitali hana jicho moja, kwa sababu ile barabara iko mbaya sana. Na kisha ile ya Mwakirunge, toka mlivyoacha kujenga paka sasa haiendelezi. Tutataka kujua muna mikakati gani ya kumaliza pia ile ya kwenda Mwakirunge. Asante sana Mheshimiwa.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Let me specifically answer. I may not have the full information on all the roads, but particularly on Maseno, Kombewa, we have addressed that road and provided resources so that we can complete the link on the Vihiga side. And I don't have the details, but I do know we did provide for budgetary allocation in the current financial year, and the Maseno Kombewa on the Vihiga side will be constructed starting this financial year. Let me beg to basically meet the member and deal with the other specific roads, Milemba and the Luanda side, in more details. As regarding the road, Links Road in Mombasa, I think this is the road that basically goes through Nyali, and we have a challenge of drainage after construction happened on both sides of the road, and it is a very low section, and when it rains, we don't have a channel to basically drain out the water. I was in Mombasa some 3-4 weeks ago, and I did pay attention meeting the governor for Mombasa, Abdul Swamad, and we discussed this. We are looking and working with the landowners within that section to see how to open a channel and be able to drain that low section, so that it's a challenge. It should have been within the county planning, but since that was not done, we'll work on remedial measures with Kura, with the county government, and correct that challenge within this high residential area in Nyali Road, Nyali Estate. I thank you.
Simon Kingara. Simon Kingara, member for Ruiru, is in the house. Question dropped. Mary Emase, I have been approached by the Honorable Oku Kaunya that he has got a holding brief for Mary Emase. Go ahead and ask the question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will ask the question on behalf of Honorable Mary Emase of Teso South regarding a road. Honorable Speaker, because she is away and she asked me to ask on her behalf. But Honorable Speaker, also the road touches on both Teso North and Teso South. The question to the Minister, question number 15, 2025, by the member for Teso South, Honorable Mary Emase. First, indicate what the Busia, when the Busia Malaba Road, which is in dilapidated state, is expected to be maintained and upgraded to bitumen standards. Number two, outline measures in place by the ministry to ensure that major highways, such as that Busia Malaba Road, is continually maintained. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Honorable members, the Busia Malaba Road was constructed to a double seal service dressing standard and open to traffic sometimes in 2021. And having been constructed using a stage construction contract, additional pavement layers were planned, but unfortunately, due to budgetary constraint, the additional layers have not been done. Kenya has since been carrying out maintenance activities, including performance-based maintenance contract between November 2021 and November 2023, routine maintenance contract between February 2024 and the same period in 2025, February 2025. Currently, the agency is procuring a routine maintenance contract for its maintenance for this financial year 25-26. In the strategic plan, honorable members, for the period 2023-27, the ministry through Kenya has committed to ensuring that more than 80% of the national paved roads, including Busia Malaba, are maintained in good condition to ensure the road network maintains its functionality and durability. And to achieve this, honorable members, the agency has programmed maintenance works annually for this road, given the significance of the road being part of within the northern transport corridor that services the landlocked countries that we service through the port of Mombasa. I submit, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Oku Kaunya, the first shot goes to the questioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the CS has tried to answer the question, though he did not explain those additional layers, when are they going to be implemented. And Mr. Speaker, I also wanted to tell the CS that actually that road has caused a number of accidents, that people have lost lives because of the big potholes on that road. So the maintenance of 2024 referred to in the response does not seem to match what is on the ground. And I would ask that a further verification by the minister, the CS, or your team could be able to give more details on what is actually happening on the ground. So there's that bit, Honorable Speaker, that is not reflected in the response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Webuye West, Dan Wanyama. Yes,
Thank you.
Dan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me joyride on this question and ask the CS on the Sikata, Nalondo, Bokoli, Kimilili Road. The contractor was on site up to Hachonge and it disappeared. Since then, the road from now Hachonge to Kimilili, it is totally impassable. If the CS can highlight on the situation, given that he was mentioning about paying the pending bills.
Yes, Martin Owino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the same note, I would like to ask the CS whether you have any standard measures which the contractors are using to maintain these roads. Because if you take, for example, a road from Katito, Homa Bay, and Rongo, some spots are dug even 6 inches deep. So the intention is good to repair them, but they are left for almost a week there. Cars, busting tires, accidents. So is there any standard measure that all these contractors should use where they intend to do good and cause harm to the motorists? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Taitumu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Minister whether he is aware, despite having signed MOUs with the constructors, of the roads that have stored, Kaelo, Kamukunji, Mutuati Road. The contractor is not yet on the road. I would like to know the measures that we are taking to make sure that that contractor is back on site to do what he is required to do on that particular road.
Oundo.
Speaker, thank you. I just wanted to add on the same issue of the roads, and this specifically the Busia-Kisumu road. Could the Cabinet Secretary tell us when they are going to do repairs? Because the potholes on that road is just a dead trap, and we are going to lose very many lives soon, consider the trailers and everything. And of course, you could also tell the nation what plans do they have to congest the Busia border point because of the long line of trailers full of fuel. In the event of an accident, it's a catastrophe waiting to happen. Thank you.
Bowen, Waziri, take a few of those short ones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would want to ask the Cabinet Secretary if he's aware of Chesoi, Tirap, and Embobut Road in Marakwet East, Mr. Speaker, whose contractor disappeared from the site almost 3 years ago, and up to now, they have not resumed. Mr. Speaker, number 2, I would want...
A joyrider has no right to 2 questions. Yes, Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The CS knows about the Mbita Sindo Road, which I ask all the time that he comes here. But today my question, Mr. Speaker, is regarding Rusinga Ring Road that is currently being tarmacked. And there are 3 contractors. How do you ensure that they maintain uniformity? Because you can see each of the contractors is coming. Some are doing very good work, including the offsides, I don't know what they are called, those arms. They're doing very good work, but others are just concentrating on the main. How do you ensure that that is done, Mr. Speaker? But I've mentioned Sindombita, which I always mention for him.
Yes. Murugara, then Minister, you answer those.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary is aware of the famous, it's now famous, Chakariga Marimanti Road. Commenced 11 years ago, stored for those 11 years, and recently, Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary promised that a contractor would be going on site immediately. It's about 4 months now, and there are no signs whatsoever that any contractor is coming back. The people of Tharaka would like to hear from you candidly. When is the contractor coming back to complete that road? Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker, for those supplementary questions. Let me start from Kaunga's question is regarding the standards basically used to maintain some of these roads on performance-based contract. And I think it was basically a comment to urge us to get down to the ground with our regional engineers and confirm that they do perform in line with the contract. And the point has been made. I'm here with my PS, Engineer Joseph Mbugwa, and we will basically get down to confirm and assure that the details and aspects of the contract are adhered to in the maintenance, because when we do a performance-based maintenance contract, we will specify the works program in the particular road, including what exactly must be done. So we should be able to supervise and make sure that the contract is performed accordingly. With respect to the Dan Wanyama's question, Webuye, Shikata, Kimilili, I think it is about the same standard measures that we employ to maintain these roads. But allow me, Speaker, to basically, because a lot of questions from...
No, his question was that the road was done halfway, the contractor left, you announced that contractors were going back to abandoned sites and he has seen none. I think that was your question.
That's correct, Speaker. And I was just going to say most of the question is regarding resumption of works by contractors. The question from Dan Wanyama, the question from Taitimu is regarding Kaelo, Kamkunji, and the question from, was that Oundo? That was congestion. But more importantly, Millie Odhiambo's question on Bito Sindo, and of course, Rusinga Ring Road. Let me, honorable members, allow me to basically, we've scheduled a meeting with the contractors on Tuesday, when a PS will be addressing all the contractors who have since received 40% payment on pending bills. We are preparing to pay the second portion of 40% from the portion of 7 shillings we sold on that asset-based fundraising. And before we paid them, we did sign a settlement agreement, which among us, one of the conditions was resumption of work to qualify for the second tranche of payments. So we'll be receiving reports for when they resumed, how much work has been done, and so on and so forth. But granted, there can be, you see, when we paid in April, it was a rainy season, and it's been a bit difficult for a number of contractors to resume in some of the very wet areas. But we are on top of this to the extent that we have had liquidity to pay these contractors. We can now call the shots. The biggest challenge previously has been they abandoned work and just left us because we owed the money. But because we've paid them and we have the second tranche of payment to pay them, we will be receiving reports from all the contractors countersigned by our regional engineers on when do they resume, how much work have they done to be able to qualify for the second tranche of payments. So to the extent that we have the cash to pay them, we will then be more hard, we'll be calling the shots. But even having said that, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a lot of work has resumed across the country. The few contractors who may have tried to play smart, taken the payment and not gone to work, will be able to catch up with them because we are yet to pay the next 40% settlement on the pending bills. So let me assure members, where contractors have not fully resumed, or where they have resumed and they are still servicing equipment, there's been no much work done on the ground, that we will be addressing those issues on a road-by-road basis when we meet them on Tuesday. And Speaker, I just chose to basically give a general answer because we've called all the contractors and we'll be doing that on Tuesday to the extent that we are now calling the shots because we are able to pay them. Previously, the biggest challenge, contractors abandoned work and just left us. So the challenge of those potholes and the non-motorable roads, we were just in a state of desperation because we were unable to get the contractors to work. The more specific one on Rusinga Ring Road with 3 contractors, the point has been made. We will basically assure ourselves with the contractors through the regional engineers that we do maintain the standards by the 3 contractors so that we have a seamless connectivity from the 3 contractors on this ring road in Rusinga. With respect to Chagarika Marimanti Road, again, like I said, Murugara, the contractors have been paid 40%, and we paid all of them 40%. So there will be no reason why one contractor or several contractors, 90% of the contractors have resumed work and they are working well. Why would one contractor be dragging is a case that is easy for us to be able to address. And therefore, when we meet these contractors on Tuesday, we'll single out some of these roads that honorable members have mentioned, including Chagarika Marimanti Road, which, in spite of the payment, the honorable member is basically giving us report. And we appreciate this report, members, because you are on the ground across the 290 constituencies, and you help us to basically give us the report like I've had. And therefore, I'll be using some of this to pin down some of these contractors ahead of processing the second payment. That includes Bowen's question on Chesoi Tirop and all the other questions regarding resumption. I think we're in a very good place today, honorable members, as regarding really taking a hard stand on contractors who had abandoned work, because as we speak today, we have paid them and we are ready to pay the second tranche to be able to push them to deliver on their contracts. Thank you, Speaker.
Minister, you say you'll meet the contractors on Tuesday.
Next week.
Members, just take your seat, because each one of you has a story to tell about contractors who left the scene have never come back. If he is meeting the contractors on Tuesday, all of you send your roads where the contractors have not resumed to my office. I do a composite letter for you to the minister, so that when he meets them on Tuesday, he is able to address each and every road that we have identified as stalled and no work resumed after 40% payment before the next 40% payment. Does that help us? Yes, Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, that guidance is good, and I think it will help members. But at a more general perspective, Honorable Speaker, and I hear what the CS is saying, he's speaking about contractors. But Honorable Speaker, it is my view or my opinion that the problem is not necessarily with just contractors, but also liturgy within the Ministry of Roads and Infrastructure, and especially the implementing agencies. I know the CS, you now have new leadership both at Kera and Kenha. And I must commend the actions that were taken in those 2 state departments, because there was overwhelming liturgy and almost sabotage of work on the roads sector, Honorable Speaker. And therefore wanted to hear from the CS, as much as you point fingers at contractors, these contractors are business people. They are there to make a profit, and they will have no loss if they are paid. They mobilize a bit of infrastructure on the ground without work being done, and wait for the next certificate, to issue the next certificate after doing a bit of work. But what will the CS do to ensure that the liturgy we have seen in the state departments for roads, especially the implementing agencies, Honorable Speaker, is also dealt with at the ministerial level? A policy direction on your acting director generals at Kenha, Kera, and the substantive Director General at Kura, to make sure that they are taking personal responsibility to ensure that work is ongoing. Because CS, it cannot be you and the PS supervising contractors. Yet you have Director Generals, you have regional managers, both for Kera and Kenha, and Kura, they are engineers. Honorable Speaker, I had a meeting with the CS earlier on other issues, and I was just pointing to him. This morning I came from my constituency to actually do the day-to-day supervision of works. For a small road, I think 500 meters being done by Kura, the officer who was sent there by the DG Kura had no idea where the road is. In fact, I left Kikuyu this morning, this lunch, Honorable Speaker, without having seen that officer because he could not even trace where the road is. But that is a person who is charged with supervising that work, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I want to hear what the CS has to say about liturgy within the State Department, because that is a fact that we cannot run away from. These members, Honorable Speaker, have a personal touch to these roads because they involve their members, the members of the public that they represent. And they are the ones who take the flak. Therefore, CS, if you need help from members of parliament to supervise these engineers for you, please ask us to help you. We will help you to supervise these engineers. Because some just don't do nothing on the ground. Mambo kwa ground, Honorable Speaker, as I say, need different, as they say. And therefore, I want to beg you that as much as you be convening contractors, the most critical people to convene are your State Department officers, not to be lethargic with their work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Jane Kara, you had a point of order.
Yes, I had, Mr. Speaker, because we were made to believe that these officers resigned. Actually, they were not pushed out. This government is telling lies all the time.
Order, you are out of order. And irrelevant, to say the least. Yes, Sabina Chege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine, I just want to echo.
Engineers for you, as I say, convene.
Yes, I had, Mr.
Are your State Department officers, not to be lethargic with their work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Jane Kara, you had a point of order.
Yes, I had, Mr. Speaker, because we were made to believe that these officers resigned. Actually, they were not pushed out. This government is telling lies all the time.
Order, you are out of order. And irrelevant, to say the least. Yes, Sabina Chege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine, I just want to echo what the leader of majority has said, and I want to request the CS, Mr. Speaker. We have the famous Mau Mau roads. Mr. Speaker, some of the roads, the way they were done, there are only small sections that are remaining so that you can connect and the road is finalized. But you find the engineers and the people responsible, they will start another road, and then the other road is so impassable, and only a small section is remaining. I want to give him an example of a road called Karinga, Kagondo, Kenyona in my Kigumo constituency. And just a small section, there's a road from Mununga going all the way to Kenyona. But a very small section, Gituamba to the junction of Kenyona, very few kilometers, Mr. Speaker, they were left. And so the road is impassable, there's tarmac halfway, and then the other side there's tarmac, and somewhere in between, people cannot be able to access to proper transportation, especially now that it's raining. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to encourage the CS and the PS. Let your officers be on the ground, let them advise you. Look at the low-lying fruits. If the money is not enough, look at the small sections that can be able to join and complete one road. It's better one road that is complete instead of several that are incomplete. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, those are largely comments.
Thank you, Speaker, and I'm encouraged. I'm very encouraged that the mood of the House is in line with how we would like the ministry to run. To a very good extent, we have removed the challenge of contractors giving us excuses of non-payments. And this is why we now zero in, and like I said, I'm encouraged to hear the mood of the House on ourselves as a ministry with the agencies. We did have a meeting with all the regional engineers for both Kera, Kena, and Kura on Friday last week, a day-long meeting to basically script what I'm hearing from the House with respect to performance. And you do know, honorable members, it is no secret that in the last survey of corruption index, my ministry was rated the most corrupt ministry, followed by the others who have been dealing.
You have overtaken the police.
We have overtaken the police. So we talked to that. We need to address and get value for our money to ensure that we don't get a situation where we are building a kilometer of road for 3 times the price. And when you go to the ground, the 3 times price does not even deliver what is meant to be built for 1 kilometer. So we've addressed these honorable members, and to a very good extent, we have got good workers within the ministry, within the agencies, and a few elements who do not quickly reform, like I've heard from the mood of the House. It means I will have an easy job in dealing with those few cases. With respect to, so thank you, Honorable Anthony Ichung'wah, Majority Leader. We will work tirelessly to correct the situation. It is not going to be about the contractors giving us excuses as we speak. When we meet them on Tuesday, it will not be excuses. We'll be expecting a countersigned report between the contractor and the regional engineers, and the countersigned by the agency DGs on the status of every road that has been paid for and whether resumption has happened, if it has not happened, and to a very good extent, the few elements who do not quickly style up, we will be taking unprecedented corrective measures to ensure that these roads, and we do know how close roads is to members of this House, and this is why we have the kind of challenges we are having even with RMLF on, is RMLF working for us? And even as we talk about amending that section 6 of KRB Act, we do know you are very passionate about roads, and I want to assure you members I'm going to lead from the front. Regarding Mau Mau roads, I do agree. We had so many tribunaries in Mau Mau roads. We provided funding, and I want to assure this House through the question asked by Honorable Sabina Chege that we've paid attention, and I'll pay more attention to ensure that these commitments which have been made are delivered before we basically do other service roads along the main artery. So let me basically just end again by saying I'm encouraged by the mood of the House, and with the contractor payments having been made, like I've said, without the risk of repeating myself, we will work on the agency to make sure our staff do what they are employed to do. I thank you.
Phyllis Barto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the Cabinet Secretary, 1, explain why, despite the completion of their designs, construction on the Tachasis, Chebiemit, Ainet, Chebarus, and Riyadh roads have not commenced? 2, outline the main causes of these delays and provide the current plans, milestones, and timelines for initiating and completing these critical road projects. 3, indicate what measures will be put in place to address the concerns of Moiben residents for whom these roads are vital to connectivity, economic growth, and overall regional development. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. I wish to confirm that